All right, I think we got the live up and popping, up and running. What's going on with everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. I know you usually see us come on Monday night. I know some people wondering like, what the heck going on? We had some technical difficulties and had a closing to do, but we got a good show for you planned tonight. Sorry for the delay. And we're streaming live on Periscope, streaming live on Instagram, streaming live on YouTube, and on the Facebook Woke Real Estate Investors Group. I want to say shout out to everybody that's up watching and the replay viewers. Let me make sure this is on here. Trying to make a lot of stuff, wearing a lot of hats. So I know people like, let's see what they're saying over here. Is the live canceled? Nah, man, we on. So like I said, we about to get this show going. Put your name in and where you're coming in from. We'll give you a quick shout out before we get started with the show. Tonight, we got a good one for you. We got House Buying Brian coming out of Texas. Going to teach us some of this good stuff about giving that multiple offer strategy, as well as some other good strategies in real estate to help you become successful with your real estate investing needs. Whether you're doing wholesaling, virtual wholesaling, creative real estate deals, all that and more, we're doing that right here live tonight. Give this video a thumbs up if it gives you any type of value, and don't forget to share if you care. It's about that time, y'all, to get it popping.
And we have and we have and we have Mr. I Stay Woke, and Mr. I Stay
Woke. What's happening? This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Monroe, and I'm right back at you with another real estate video. You know, we always bringing in heavy hitters that's talking all this good real estate talk, bringing in stuff. So I got a good treat for you tonight. We got House Buying Brian coming in out of Texas. I know y'all heard of him, you seen him. And without further ado, here's my bro from the South, House Buying Brian. What up, bro?
What's going on, brother? Hey, I was super hyped for that intro, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, yo.
Say, we here.
Hey, bring me back in. I want to hear that again.
Say, bring him in again. Yeah, you got to get him pumped up.
I appreciate you having me on, man. So I guess today, man, Chris brought me in to talk about multiple offer strategies. That's kind of been my secret sauce. It's very powerful. It really works. I think that was one of my keys, you know, aside for creative deal structures, one of my keys for being able to keep up with my competition when I was working 50 to 70 hours a week, you know, because if I was playing tug of war with all the other investors, just throwing out cash offers, I mean, if they get the cash offer out first before me, by the time I get off of work, you know, it's kind of like, hey, man, you know, all of the everything is dried up, you know. Not that serious, but it definitely helps to give you an edge on your competition. So I want to kind of break down my philosophy behind this, the science behind it. It is kind of an art to it, and it's not one way to do it. You're going to see people talk about multiple offer strategies, and you might see that their second offer or their third offer is different, or you might see that they make 4 or 5 offers. There's not a way to do it. Ideally, it's an art and not a science. What we're trying to do is we're just trying to put multiple offers on the table for the seller so the offers can negotiate for you, essentially, and more so not have a tug of war with price. So you're able to put all of your offers up front, and before you know, you put them up there, all of them work for you. So it's like they're all of them fit for me. So which one works for you? And
so you want the gun or you want the knife?
In a nutshell, that's what we do, and it works beautifully. And it actually helps to build a lot more rapport because the seller really feel like you're on their side instead of just dumping a cash offer on their lap and saying take it or leave it. So,
all right. So you kind of like me. You kind of got forced into learning some other strategies because when you're just wholesaling, you're trying to beat them up on price. Say, come on, get lower. And you don't have to really do that when you're doing these terms deals. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, you don't have to do that at all. And I mean, as far as wealth building and just overall freedom. I think it works better when you can structure these deals where you can get, you know, residual income from them. Because if you're doing a fix and flip or a wholesale deal, you're only as good as your last deal. Even a land development deal, you're only as good as your last play. Unless you stay in the deal and have some type of, interest. or hold some type of note. So that's essentially that's what we do. Believe it or not, a lot of times I make offers, I'm crossing my fingers that they look at the cash offer and say, oh, I can't take that. But this offer looks kind of interesting.
Right, right. They like this look good because they like that bigger number. They like a cash offer gonna beat them up, but this terms offer gonna be so juicy. They like, I can't say no.
Yeah. So
Right,
psychology behind it.
So how long have you been doing real estate for?
Man, I've been in it since 2014. I got married in 2013. As soon as I came back from my honeymoon in the Bahamas, I was like, look, I'm gonna try this real estate thing. That was in 2014. I first started, and that's when I did my first deal.
Cool. First deal got you in there, and next thing you know, you're like, I'm just bit by this resale or this real estate thing. I'm in here. I got to do it forever now. And so when it comes to doing this multiple offer strategy, would you suggest a person always give the multiple offer strategy, or just more lean toward just giving them one thing when it comes to making offers to people?
So for me, I normally I suggest multiple offers normally when the house is habitable. Okay, because we're leveraging the fact that we can put someone in it to make our payments to the seller. Is there possibly a multiple offer strategy when the house isn't habitable? Yeah, of course. Sometimes we might, do a some type of fix and flip where we let the seller finance the property instead of getting hard money. But ideally, when we can, it's usually always multiple offers. But there are some instances where all I can do is pay cash for this property, Mr. Seller, and this is the best I can do.
Take this cash offer and move out of my way. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So so when you do your multiple offers, I guess you're doing one of them as a seller finance deal, I guess. Or
yeah. Ideally, I mean, if you like, I could dig a little deep. I got a three slide little presentation for you to help out your members.
Oh, there we go. A presentation. See, Brian, he always provides value. And if you all are liking this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have questions, put it in the comments and we'll try to get it answered for you before we get off here today. So, yeah, we can definitely take a look at what you got on your slideshow there. We can share the screen and all that. This technology, you got to love it. It's getting good.
Can you see my screen?
If you push at the bottom there is a share screen down at the bottom below.
Okay, let's see.
Down on the bottom, right below your picture, something like that. So yeah.
Can you see now?
Yeah, there we go. Got it. Boom.
All right. So this is a little quick overview, Chris, of kind of how I usually break it down. It's pretty clear.
Yeah, we got it.
All right. So usually when I'm approaching a seller, man, we're normally, of course, doing the 70% rule. If you have a very competitive market, you might do 75, 80%, whatever they're buying at in your area. A very slow market, they might creep down to 65, 60% of ARV. This is basically what you back out before you take out the repairs and expenses. I mean, the repairs and your assignment fee. So that's offer one. So the very first thing I'm going to do is shoot a cash offer. And this offer is an offer that if the seller accepts, it's at a price point where you can turn around and assign that deal to a cash buyer for an assignment fee. But a lot of times, sometimes that's not a fit for a few different reasons. Maybe, they just don't want to just take an offer that low. They want a little more of their equity. And they have the ability to do so, but they just don't want to take that offer. Or sometimes they can't take that offer because there's a mortgage in the way. Okay. And so that's when we have another offer. And this next offer would be something that's a little longer. Okay. Let's say 90 days to 1 year. And what our objective on this one is to maybe pay the seller a little bit more. We might creep up to like the 80 percentile. But we just want to get ownership long enough so we can wholesale it. All right. And so that might look like 90 days to a year. So ideally, the first one is a wholesale deal. The second one, I'm trying to wholesale it. And then the third one, I'm trying to stretch that loan out or that note out so I can just cash flow long term from the deal. But we switch these things up. So somebody might say, someone might say, well, one of the options is listed with the realtor. Well, I don't actually put that in writing because the seller kind of knows that. I cover that up front. Like when I'm speaking with the seller, we might tell the seller, hey, you can always rent the property. You can list it with the realtor. And I'll let them cross out those options by themselves. So technically, they've already got one or two offers. And as far as things that they could do, and they cross them out for themselves. And when I put it on paper, I'm gonna give them 3 offers. It's gonna go from lowest to highest, and typically this is like a cheat sheet of how we do it. Mr. Seller, I can get you more money if you could give me more time. All right, because technically we almost could give the seller what they want, close to it, if they can give us more time. That's the beauty about real estate, you know. So, and sometimes you're gonna get those sellers to say, "Oh, I can't owner finance for 20 years. I'm gonna die in 10." And so with those sellers, of course, we can have it set up on a balloon payment, where we set up the schedule on like a 30-year schedule, so it does cash flow while you have it. But you know, it's really knocking down that principal, and at the end of that 3 to 5 years, we have enough equity to hit a big payday, you know, in the back end. And ideally, you know, how we're structuring these payments is really just kind of equity or cash flow. You know, sometimes it might not cash flow a lot, but we might get it in a position where there is a big equity play at the end. So these are the 2 things we're looking at anytime we look at a deal.
Makes a lot of sense, especially what you just said about, oh, I might die in a few years. That actually happened to me on a deal I just got finished doing not too long ago. Yeah. The guy was saying that, we're going to do a 10-year balloon. That's what we agreed to. Then he called me back and said, you know what? I may not even live 10 years. You think we can do 5 years? I was like, how about we meet at 7? He's like, okay. So I got a whole loan that we created because he had no mortgage. So we bought the house, created a note, and I pay him principal only, $750 a month. I got a tenant buyer and they're paying me $1,250. So it's
That's
easy.
The best way to do it. Yeah.
No money down.
I always tell people, don't even bring up interest if the seller doesn't bring it up.
Exactly.
The same thing. I don't bring up earnest money if the seller doesn't bring it up. You know, of course, we just put like a $10 down. But in the traditional world of real estate, realtors are always going to ask for a certain earnest money. But when you get to work directly with the seller, man, you can make any deal happen you want to make happen.
Exactly. You got to do whatever you want, because, you know, you start telling stuff. Loose lips sink ships. The words that come out of your mouth have a direct reflection on what goes in that bank account. You know that.
Yeah. Some people talk too much, right? And they talk themselves smooth out of a deal.
And even with pitching these terms, from what I've seen, people go and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna put a rent to own person here and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And that's telling that seller that, oh yeah, I can go do this myself. I don't need you.
Exactly. That, and a confused mind always says no.
That's true.
So you want it as simple as possible. Even on our letter of intent, if any of you guys use the Any Deal app, let me share my screen again. I don't think I have
Any Deal app. I've been seeing that thing all over the internet. What's that Any Deal app about?
Man, Any Deal app is basically, man, when I first started, I actually started with like learning creative real estate. A lot of people, when they started, they learn wholesaling and then they get into the creative space. When I originally started in 2014, I was taught that, hey, here's some different marketing strategies and how you generate leads. And when the leads come in, these are all the different ways that you could take down the deal. That's how I started, man. I started in 2014 like that. That's why when you see, I kind of show, HUDs from when I first started, the wraparound mortgages. So I kind of started different than a lot of my peers started. Because wholesaling became really, really popular, probably like, maybe about, a few years ago, like it really, really jumped up. But as I started, kind of learn a little more about technology, and I teamed up with some developers in India, I was like, can you create an app to do what I already do? Because it's really easy. It'd be even cooler if I don't have to always keep going back to the computer, to Microsoft and typing this up and resending it, and so on. So that's where that came from. And it just got really efficient. Then I created it so other people can benefit as well.
So it has the Zillow API integration, the wholesale deal analyzer, multiple offer strategy, mortgage analyzer. So this thing does a lot of stuff. This Any Deal app.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you guys, what I did when Chris told me that I was going to come and speak to his people, is I went ahead and set you guys up so you guys can get, if you guys go to the anydealapp.com, you guys get a free 7-day trial. Just play with it, see, and shoot out a few multiple offers from it. If it works for you, great. You're going to make a lot of money, and also, give us some feedback for some things, because we're definitely looking to improve and make it better. But what it's based almost off of this concept as far as offer 1, offer 2, offer 3, but you can make adjustments within the app, and then you can send a letterhead PDF or a text directly to the seller. And it works like magic. What'll happen is the sellers will call you back sometimes. And because on the letter of intent, we also have a what's it called? Expiration. Because you never want to tell a seller your offer and then just give it to them, because what they're going to do is, oh, let me think about it. And then they're going to go shop your offer. Yeah, there's other investors.
Yeah,
you don't want to do that. Yeah, so on our letter of intent, what it has, it says that offer expires in a blank amount of time. And it works real different than when you give people a cash offer, because they'll call you back and they'll say, hey, Chris, me and my wife talked about it. We really don't like offer 1. We're leaning towards offer 2, but can you make it a little shorter? Or can you bump that up by $3,000? And it's almost like you're not even the one negotiating anymore. It's like they're negotiating with the offer on the table. It does the negotiation for you, and you look like an angel from heaven, because you didn't just say, hey, I'll give you $20 for your house and that's it. You say, hey, look, I got Burger King, or I got vegan chips. Got a little something for everybody. So
here's a little here's that. And what was that website again? You said the Any Deal app?
TheAnyDealApp.com. Yeah, let me see if I can go to. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah, is that it there on the screen? TheAnyDealApp.com?
TheAnyDealApp.com. Yes, guys. If you go here and log in, you'll get a 7-day trial. You won't be billed, so you can check it out for 7 days and just play with it. And the biggest thing I'm gonna tell you guys, because as you get more confident, I'm pretty sure you heard Chris speak about multiple offers as well. But the biggest thing is that you do a stair step. Cash, because we're offering speed and convenience, is going to be the lowest amount. All right. If a seller wants more money, cool. They have to give us more time. And that's kind of how we work. All right. It's just kind of like a give and take. But most investors, they call, they're calling all across the country. Yeah, Mr. Seller, I see your house right here on 123 Main Street. We actually just bought a property, just a few days ago for about this much. Want to know if you consider a cash offer. And it's really just cash, just tug of war. And if cash is not a fit, what? You put them in hot follow-ups. You're leaving millions of dollars on the table. I was going to say hundreds of thousands, but that's not accurate. Because, for every creative deal that we do, it's going to usually be $100,000 plus profit over the course of the term. You take over a mortgage, it has, the cash flow after you put someone in it, it's $350, and then you still have another 30 years. That's like $100 and something thousand over the course of that loan.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. It's the goose that lays the golden egg, right?
Absolutely.
So try to get as many of those as you can. So yeah, it definitely makes a difference. And so when someone uses this app, is this something that they could use more so on the fly, or is it more like just add in the information and come back to it later, or what is it, just more mobile friendly? What do you think was good?
So it's more so on the fly. So ideally, it'd be something like, let's say you talk to a seller over the phone, right? And you're in 2 ways you could do it. You're talking to the seller over the phone, and you're punching in the figures in your application, and then you send it over via email, via text. Hey, Mr. Seller, so I do have a few offers I put together for you. I'm gonna send them over right now. I'm gonna stay on the phone and make sure you get them, and you go ahead and take a look at it and tell me which one you think is a fit. We do have a 24-hour contingency on our offers because we can't hold this much money in escrow to the side. So check it out, see which one is best fit for you, and let me know so we can go ahead and get this paperwork started and move forward. So I'm already assuming that one of them are gonna be a fit. Just pick one. And what it does for the seller, it kind of makes them feel like they gotta pick one because you gave them options. When a lot of them forget that they can actually say no to all 3 of your offers.
Say triple no matter what.
Triple no, right?
No.
The thing about it is, it's the law of reciprocity. They feel like you gave them something. All right. So they almost feel obligated that they have to work with you.
And I've even noticed, even when talking to these sellers, sometimes they feel better because they're like, "Oh wow, you have more than just one solution. Everybody been beating me up on my price and trying to get it all low." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to sell my house cheap." So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and especially when you start to understand, when you start to understand these objections and you understand the different strategies on how you can purchase the properties, subject to owner financing, short term, both lease options, then you can really start to, before you send your multiple offers, you could prep them. You could tell, ask the seller, like, so Mr. Seller, if I was to pay you this $45,000 cash, get you close. What do you plan to? What do you guys plan to do with that money? You guys going to, Vegas or start gambling? Oh no, we're just gonna put that up in our retirement. We're not gonna touch that money. That way, he just set me up for an alley-oop, because I'm gonna ask him about the type of returns he's getting on his money, which I know if he's putting in the CD or market account, he's getting 0.00.1%, and then you can kind of throw him an alley-oop like, so Mr. Seller, what if there's a way that I can, take over on your payments, or what if I can get you more money, take over on all your taxes, maintenance, insurance with the property, and get you monthly income every single month without the headaches of being a landlord. Does that sound like it'd be a fit?
Gotta position it just right, huh?
And then, after that, they're like, oh, well, that would make sense. I can get more money and I can get income every single month, and I don't have to deal with the headaches of tenant, toilets, termites. Yeah. Well, Mrs. Seller, here's what I can do. I can go ahead and put those offers on paper for you, and I'll go ahead and send them right off over. And these are the ways that we can purchase your property. You just let me know which one works. And I'm telling you, I need to track the, because we don't do much of, as far as the acquisitions managers do a lot of that now. But I wish I could. I need to track the conversion of how many sellers decline all 3 offers. It doesn't happen. Yeah, it's very rare that a seller just says, no, I don't like none of those offers.
Oh, they call me on Facebook. They don't know I'm on a live stream calling me on Facebook. Watching on Facebook and calling on Facebook.
I wonder if they can't hear me.
I wish it was a seller saying, I want to sell you my house. We're signing right now. So that's cool. So these multiple offers and positioning yourself makes a big difference, and it really helps people out because a lot of times they're just not really looking for all cash right now. Everybody don't want money. They just don't want the headache of dealing with that house. They want money, but they don't need money right now. They just don't want the house. So like if you can provide them another solution, provide them another way that you can say, I can actually buy your house, be responsible for all of the maintenance and repairs of the property going forward. You don't have to deal with anything. We take care of it all. How would that make you feel? And they're like, well, I don't know. How would that work? Tell me more. See, I never go in and try to pitch a lot of numbers because numbers is too confusing. I just tell them an overview like that they're like, oh, tell me more. I want them salivating for more. I want them to taste it.
Yeah. You want to be the one pulling. You want to be that you want them to come to you. You don't want to be pushing. You want to let them just kind of come along because the easiest way is to say less and keep it simple. A confused mind always says no. Once you start talking, oh, I'm a subject to and I'm a rapid and interest in
what is this?
Trust in they're gonna be like, no.
I don't know what that is.
Talk to my attorney about that.
Right.
And you know what happens when an attorney or a realtor gets in the way.
Matter of fact, somebody got a question talking about exactly that. Let me see where to go here. Let's see. Melanie over on YouTube wants to know, is it good to work with a realtor on a subject to deal, Brian?
I would say leave a realtor out of that space, if any way possible. I mean, that's really out of the box for a realtor. Basically, owner financing a property that has a mortgage on it. They're not used to that. So it needs to be an investor-friendly realtor if you do work with them. But I kind of would want to know, like, what would be the point of the realtor even being in the mix? What value are they providing?
Good question. Good answer there, because I always say, I mean, who paying that commission? You? I ain't paying them. Yeah. We don't have commissions, fees, and all that. And if we do, we pay all of them. So the price we agree to is the price you get, Mr. Seller. And they like that. They like, oh, ain't no confusion, smooth. So good answer there. So let's see here. What else we got? Let's see your name of the site again. That was theanydeal.com. That was
The Any Deal app.
Oh, yeah, I almost messed that up. Let me see. I think I put it in my thing over here. I cheated. Theanydealapp.com. See, I try to mess you up. I'm gonna try to get you that other domain too, though. So there it is.
App.com. Okay.
There it is. So let's see what else we got here. So if y'all getting any value from this, give this video a thumbs up, share it out to somebody who needs to know this stuff. They want to learn some advanced strategies. It's good to know wholesaling, nothing wrong with it, but just keep those tools in your toolbox, because if you just only got that one offer, you out here dead in the water. Because I'm gonna come along and I'm gonna hit them with so much stuff. They're gonna say, man, you know what you're doing. I just want to sign with you because you sound like you know what you're talking about, and you're gonna be out here dead. So learn this stuff. Let's see.
Chris know what he's talking about. He out here shaking and moving.
Yeah, just closed the deal today. Matter of fact, we just closed a deal today. Bought it for closing costs $1,100. Where you gonna buy a house for $1,100 and take over $530 a month payment?
Man, people out here spending it on Yeezys.
On stupid stuff. Exactly.
$1,100 for a purse. He's bought a whole house.
So German says, what market is Brian in, and what other markets is he currently working in?
Okay, so we're mainly in Houston, Texas, and just kind of like the surrounding like counties around Houston. So,
okay, cool. Matter of fact, the guy I just spoke to last night is in Houston. We're trying to buy his house in St. Louis. He's trying to buy a house there. I told him I'm connected with some people in Houston. We can get you some deals down there. He's like, oh man, see, I use that as a close.
With a plug, right? Yeah, get him to commit.
That's right. He like, oh man, you gonna solve all my problems. I said, yeah, man.
Let's solve this one first, though, and I got you.
Sign right here, and I'll hook you up. I got you, man.
Right.
So, all right, let's see here. Let's say thank you because a realtor reached out on Facebook. Yeah, and that's the big thing with real estate agents. As long as they're real, if they're one, investor friendly, and two, who's paying that fee? That's the whole thing. I mean, there's really no reason for them to be there unless they're, unless the person just trusts them and want to pay them or something like that. They want to pay it out their pocket. Hey, but I let a seller know in a heartbeat. Hey, if you got all these people involved, they could mess the deal up. Just being honest. I let them know up front. You bring a bunch of people into the deal and they don't understand it or something, they could mess your deal up. Just let you know that up front, Mr. Seller. And they like that honesty. So let's see what else we got here. Let's see here. You guys are out here giving out straight value. That's right, Christian. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Christian.
Let's see here. Realtors provide valuable service to anyone who doesn't do what we do at all. We become the 1%ers, the plus or minus that are kryptonite to any traditional transaction. Yeah, you're right, Chris.
Man, Chris, that well said. Well, a little wordplay right there.
Kryptonite. And you're right. And many of the deals I've gotten were expired listings for sale by owners. A real estate agent couldn't help them. Most investors couldn't help them. I come along with my cape on, flapping in the wind, and save the day. I've done it many times. Somebody said, can you give an example of one of your subject twos you recently did? So I just bought this. The last subject to transaction I just did was we got one in escrow. It's a townhome. All right, the one the acquisition managers locked up. But right here, my primary residence. I just bought a $250,000 house. It's only 3 years old. And we moved from another city here to Fresno, Texas. This was a subject to. Basically, it was a pre-foreclosure. It was listed with the realtor. They only had a couple of weeks. Basically, I caught up their arrears, gave them a couple $1,000s because it was such a great deal. Took over and we moved in. 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, 2 stories. It was a really nice house. And so sometimes subject twos, we do it and we sell them on wraps. We flip them and make money, but people don't know subject to can actually be used also to buy your primary residence. My last home was bought subject to. So basically, you're gonna just keep upgrading, level. Next thing you know, you're gonna be in a big mansion you paid $3,000 for.
Right?
It's like, man, how you in that mansion? Man, I bought this subject to, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with it. So, what is subject to for people who may not understand? Because I don't know. Sometimes we get entry level people that sneak in like, what is subject to, Brian? Right. So, subject to is when you purchase a property. Subject to the existing loans. It's like how you answer a question with the verb, but it means that you're buying a property and you're leaving whatever liens or debts in place there. All right. We're simply, because with houses, it's kind of different with cars, because like with a car, once you pay it off, then they send you your title.
the cool thing about real estate is that the actual title, the debt, who's the actual owner of the property, and the debt can be totally separate. One is a mortgage, one is the title. So someone can deed you of a property and you can become the rightful owner, and whatever debts, liens on the property, they can still remain. All right.
That's right. Those debts, liens, encumbrances, all that crap can stay on there. You can even buy a house with really any lien, with an exception. I bought a house like that before. We found out it had a sewer bill like $400. I'm like, man, close that deal up. We'll buy it with the exception. The seller gave me the $400 back. So
technically, you can go over to a big house, like in one of those subdivisions where it's just millionaire houses. If you talk to that seller and that seller was like, you know what, I don't want this house anymore, they can technically just deed over their house and you can be the owner without getting your credit check, without putting a down payment, because they have the legal right to convey property to anyone else. Now, there are clauses, but that's a whole nother thing, that banks have the right, but not that they will. They have the right to call a note due, but that's a whole nother lesson. But technically, it's real simple. Somebody can just deed you over their house. They just grant the deed over to you, the grantee. That's it. Now you're the owner. Legally, you're the owner. You can do whatever you want with it. That's simple.
It's just that thing. Real estate breeze through paperwork. As long as that paperwork right.
Paperwork makes the paperwork. That's my favorite phrase. Paperwork makes the paperwork. Now, I did make it sound super easy. They just deed you over the property, but subject to transactions. Don't get yourself a lawsuit. There are other documentation documents that you need to fill out. Power of attorney, taxes and escrow acknowledgments. All those things.
Trust agreement, a whole bunch of stuff.
Promissory note. Other things.
Exactly, makes sense. Looks like LaShonda here on YouTube has a question. What do you do if the ARV, or after repair value, is $48,000 and the seller still owes about $47,000? Brian, no equity. What do you do?
There's no equity. Oh, that's a trash deal. Not really. We don't know. So first thing I would ask is, does it cash flow? What's the payments look like? What is the rental rate for that property? How much will someone pay to stay in that property versus the monthly obligations on that property every single month? And then, if you really want to stretch it, do you think you could own or finance that property and sell it for about 10% more than market value? That's kind of a stretch, but properties sold on owner financing can typically command about 10% more purchase price. So you still might have a room in there. On a deal like this, depending on the property, you could turn around and you said ARV is 48. You could turn around and sell that thing for 58, 60,000 with $10,000 down. And if that $47,000 mortgage is carrying like a $700 note, but somebody's willing to pay $950, boom, you just print $10,000, no equity, you're making a couple $100 a month, cash on cash return. You can't even count it as infinite. It's a beautiful thing. And guess what? Depending on how you sold it, if they ever default on those payments, you could take the property back and do it again, just like Chase Bank, Wells Fargo Bank, Carrington Bank would do if you stop making the payments. So
thank you for that breakdown, because it definitely makes a difference. I tell people, every one of these houses I've gotten, I've sold for market value, for ARV, no matter the repair amount, none of that. I sold them as is for more than an MLS would have commanded, more than they could have sold for sale by owner, more than really anybody could have did, unless they know what they're doing. Every one of them sold for more than what they could have ever sold for on an open market, because it was creative.
God, there is value in being able to offer a home on owner financing. You will never exhaust the need of people that need owner financing because they can't get traditional financing. Therefore, you'll always have a buyer if you're willing to owner finance a property. But to owner finance a property, normally you got to make sure that the acquisition is right, because if the seller needs all cash in 3 weeks, of course you can't owner finance it to somebody for 20 years. So
right.
When you have the acquisition right, you could do whatever you want on the back end.
That makes sense. So we got that buy side, the acquisition, and that sell side, the disposition. Got to make sure that stuff match up to where you're making money all the way throughout the deal. Very important.
Ooh, I got a great question. Deal closing, Kobe. What if the seller does not continue to pay the loan after deeding over the contract to you? Now, I don't know what Chris does, but even if I pay on a wraparound mortgage, we never, if there's an underlying mortgage, we never make those payments directly to the seller.
Never.
We don't. We make those payments directly to the lender, because I've seen it time and time again where you're being responsible. You took this property over subject to, you're making those payments to that seller every single month, and they're going on vacation. Then all of a sudden, man, you got your nice investment, you get a fat notice of default notice, and you're like, whoa, what happened? Because those payments that you were making to that seller wasn't getting to the lender. So to make sure that this doesn't happen, guys, I beg you guys, if you take a property over subject to, two things. First of all, make those payments directly to the lender. And second, always make those payments.
Exactly. And you got to have them pay you. I want to make sure I'm in the middle, getting my, if they give me say $1,250, I'll take my change out and pay my $900 over to the lender or whatever. You keep your money, keep yourself in the middle. That's where you make the money at. That's the only transaction you got to do. Collect a payment, make a payment. That's the only work. No property management, no maintenance, no repairs, none of that crap. That's not the world I live in. I live in the world of making money like it ain't funny.
Yeah, so you want to be a good steward over that asset somebody just blessed you with for like $1,000, so
exactly.
Make sure you make those payments.
Stanford Roberts wants to know over on Facebook, can subject to be transferred over to LLC or land trust better?
I think I understand your question, but either or, it's up to you. The cool thing is if you ideally you could transfer it into a land trust and the beneficiary of the land trust be your LLC. That's one way I kind of recommend doing it. Got that strategy for Tony Robbins Sr. It's a great strategy. A lot of other people, sometimes teach to deed it into the actual seller's land trust, and they sign that beneficiary interest over to you. But you could just be straightforward, straight up. They could deed it into your land trust and make sure you have all the proper disclosures, and the beneficiary of the land trust be your LLC, your company's LLC. And it kind of gives you a double layer of protection. But that's kind of advanced. I mean, you can just be a straight shooter too. You can just deed the property into your LLC. I have, a handful of properties just in an LLC, and you can deed it directly into the land trust. The cool thing about a land trust is anonymity. All right, anonymity. So people can't really see who's the owner. All right, it's almost like you playing puppet master.
Own nothing and control everything.
People try to sue you and he'd be like, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money. But you got a couple $1 million worth of assets, but they don't know that.
But the way I do all of my property is held in trust. Yeah, I kind of study probably from the person that Tony Robinson Sr. studied from. I always put all my property in a trust to avoid that due on sale clause, and make sure that, even though they're not going to call it due, I would prefer to have that there. So that basically, give me protection and anonymity. I don't want them to know I own anything. I own a lot of property, but you won't see my name on none of them. Let's see here. Do you just take over the mortgage? Ebby Duncan wants to know.
Absolutely, if the deal makes sense. Just because somebody wants to give me their house, I don't take it though. Somebody could be taking their problem and dumping on your lap. So if you see that there's value that you can add, or you can make something out of it and it makes sense for you, yeah, we just take over the mortgage. But of course, you want to make sure that there's either equity or cash flow, or something where you're not going to get stuck with a bill.
So much fire. That's right. So yeah, House Buying Brian dropping bombs on here for everybody. Like I said, give this video a thumbs up and share it out if you haven't already. Let's see here. Deal Closing Kobe says, I needed that because I have a few hot subject to leads, but I was scared about that. Ooh, I guess scared about putting it into a LLC or not. All right. And Alex wants to know, I am a newbie. I follow both of you, and I read on some books and YouTube University. I jumped in and made a FISBO calls and got some interested people, but don't know what to do next. How do I screen the buyers, and what's after that? What I would say is my position is ask good questions. I want to know how the seller feels about things. What's the condition of the property? I do a lot of these deals virtual, by the way. I don't know if you do a lot of virtual there in Texas, Brian. I do a lot of virtual. I have them under contract before I even go see the house most of the time. So I know that they're serious, and then I go figure out everything else before I close.
So are you outside of St. Louis?
Mostly all St. Louis.
Okay.
I've done a
So
couple deals outside, but mostly all the holds are all here in St. Louis.
okay. So when you say virtual, you mean virtual, but in your backyard?
Virtual in the backyard. Like if I can be on this phone with somebody right now, what's your email? Send them this contract, walk them through it. Let's go ahead and go through it now. They sign off on it. I have equitable interest on this contract. I can sell the contract. I can close on it, do whatever I want to because I'm, a rightful owner in the property right now. So we can move and market and go with everything else and make the deal happen. Because I can have the deal sold before I even go see it. I can go take the buyer with me if it's a wholesale deal. But that's advanced. I don't want to get too ahead of everybody.
When you start learning this stuff, it's like, man, it's like magic. It's kind of like it's so addictive.
Yeah, because you find out that, like I say, as long as they sign that paperwork and you do your due diligence, it is what it is. Let's
But
see
did
what
we answer Alex's question? How do I screen buyers and what's after that?
Yeah. So how does he screen buyers? So what I would say is more so ask them questions. Ask them, would you consider taking a monthly payment until we pay you off in full? I ask that of every seller. So first of all, I want to talk about the house. I don't talk about all that stuff until I first get them talking about the house. Oh yeah, it's a 3-bedroom. Oh yeah, my grandma lived here and whatever small stuff about the house. Secondly, I start talking about, would you consider taking a monthly payment until we pay you off in full? If we're able to agree on everything, how soon would you like to close? Things like that. If you're not able to sell it, what are you going to do? All that stuff is secondary. Then we start getting into the numbers. What do you really want for the house? What do you owe on the house? All of that stuff. And then, I'll either get off the phone with them, run my numbers and come back, or make an offer right there if I can do it right on the fly, if it sounds like it's a good deal already. What do you do, Brian?
No, that sounds about the same thing. That
Same thing.
Not accurate.
Yeah, so I put it in structure. And so I actually have a whole checklist cheat sheet that I have on my website, wokerealestate.com. You can get the whole program to show you how to do all of that basic screening, whether it's going to be a wholesale deal, a creative deal. I don't care. It's just a deal. Just sell me your house. I want to buy it somehow. And we see if we can make a deal out of it.
So Deal Closing Kobe has a great question. And I like this question because I used to get confused about the same thing, Kobe. So subject to and owner finance are two different options. I keep getting them confused. Okay, so let me explain. As far as owner financing, there's a lot of different transactions that fall under the umbrella of owner financing. Owner financing is technically saying that either the seller is creating a note, all right, or they are allowing you to take over their existing financing. So either way is seller financing because you're leveraging their financing, either they have in place or they create it. So subject to is actually a form of owner finance. Normally what most people are used to when they hear the word owner financing, they think that the property is owned free and clear, okay? But subject to is a form of owner financing. A wraparound mortgage is owner financing. Contract for deed is owner financing, if that helps. Owner financing is like the big umbrella, all right? And you have free and clear owner financing, subject to, wraparound mortgage, contract for deed, all of those fall on owner financing.
Great answer. Great answer. All of that all falls under that. So yeah, it's all about if they got a loan. You can't take over something subject to if there's nothing subject to. But like the deal I'm working on now, we're about to create another note. They don't even know they can do that. Like a lot of times people that have a house free and clear don't even know they can create a note and still sell their house, and give them some money. So yeah, let's see here. Stanford says, thanks. Melanie, let's see here. Where can I get all of the proper legalized contracts, POA, that's the power of attorney, promissory notes, etc., to complete a subject to deal?
I'm pretty sure Chris, look, in his background of Chris, I see online, offline, business coach. I'm pretty sure Chris
everything.
Now,
so yeah, for that stuff, if you need contracts, cool gear, coaching, or anything else like that, I have all that stuff right available at wokerealestate.com. Wokerealestate.com. I can't even find my phone though.
If anybody is looking for an in-person training, if anybody is looking to get a PhD in creative financing, March 13th to the 15th, I'm having my first event in Houston, Texas. We're not even going to talk about wholesaling for 30 minutes. It's literally going to be 3 days of creative finance. I have 2 of my real estate attorneys going to be speaking. One of them is going to be talking about the paperwork contracts to keep yourself safe and out of trouble. Deeds of trust, warranty deeds with vendors, liens, promissory notes, all of these things. We also have another real estate attorney, Ashley Patton, that owns Patton Law Firm. That's a very popular real estate escrow office here in Houston. He's going to be speaking on escrow services. We also have Fred Hobbs, which is the owner of Texas Mortgage Capital. He is an RMLO. If you sell more than 3 properties a year on owner financing, you need to comply with Dodd-Frank. So he's going to break down Dodd-Frank and, because and what his company does as far as being an RMLO. We got Tony Robinson Sr. speaking. He's going to talk about lease options and contract for deeds. I'm going to be breaking down wraparound mortgages and owner financing. We have another investor that's going to be talking about private money and how to, if you can't use seller financing, how to use private money. And also I have another expert that's going to be talking about using the bank money, how you've acquired about $2 million worth of real estate using the bank's money and putting zero money down. So there's ways that you can actually use the bank to do zero money down as well. So at the end of this event, you might not know how to do 100 deals, but you'll know how to do 100 ways to do one deal. Like literally.
And you say that's in Houston, March 13th?
March 13th through the 15th, Houston, Texas, the DoubleTree on Airport Road. Tickets go on sale this week. Like I said, we it's going to be Tony Robbins Sr. going to be up there for 6 hours over the course of a couple of days. So it's literally structured where the first day we're going to talk about, it's going to start with the attorney talking about paperwork, and then I'm going to talk about marketing, all the ways to get so much leads you don't know what to do with. And then the day 2, we're going to talk about acquisitions. All right. I'm going to talk about wraparound mortgages and owner financing. Tony Sr. is going to be talking about subject to and lease options. We're going to have an investor talk about private money. Another one talk about using the bank's money, always zero money down. And day 3, we're going to talk about dispositions. I'm going to talk about dispoing retail, like a retail doing a hotel, not the hotel everybody's thinking about. Most people, they think hotel, they think cash the property out and resell it. I'm going to show you guys how you can actually do a hotel without putting your money up and sell it to a retail buyer that's getting a loan. All right. So I'm going to talk about retailing and selling retail and selling on wraparound mortgage. Tony Sr. is going to talk about selling on a lease option, so AKA sandwich lease, as well as selling it on a contract for deed. And then the residential mortgage loan originator is going to talk about everything you need to do and stay in compliance. And then we're going to end it with another real estate attorney talking about escrow services. So you're going to have everything you need from beginning to end to make sure you go out there, do this safely, don't get yourself in trouble, don't screw sellers, and feel very confident. Because I know a lot of events, people say that, oh, I'm not a real estate attorney, consult with a real estate attorney. You're going to have real estate attorneys there on my dime.
Wow.
It fits,
So being down in Houston, Texas, March the 13th through the 15th?
Yes.
Wow, and you bringing out all the heavy hitters. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And real estate attorneys, so you don't have to go like, oh, should I go consult with an attorney? They're gonna be there.
That's right. I know that's right. Cool.
Yeah, it's a high-level event. It's not a big raw clout fest. These are all, multi-millionaire people that've been in the business. Almost a lot of people is gonna have gray hair on that stage. But,
the OGs, bringing out the OGs.
Yeah, the OGs, man. So
that's where I stand on the shoulders of giants as well. I'm saying I want to know from the old school people who've been doing it for years, who ain't got locked up yet, so they doing something right. All right, so SB got a question over here. How do you pitch to seniors the property that is, I guess, is free and clear? How do you pitch a deal to a senior that's got a property that's free and clear?
Well, the cool thing about it, it works very well because a lot of seniors, they care about one thing. What do they usually care about? They just what's one thing that seniors usually start talking about when they get up in that age?
Retirement.
And that usually come in what type of frequency?
Ooh-wee.
It can come in any frequency, but usually like a monthly frequency, right? Their retirement
payment, yeah.
Or their Social Security that comes in when? Monthly. So when you talk about the pitch, think about it. Think about how sexy you can make it. Like, hey, Mr. Seller, what if I can purchase your property instead of you buying at this price, as you selling this price, I can give you this much, and you can receive monthly payments every single month, to support your living and your lifestyle, right? Without having to deal with any headaches, maintenance, calls. Does this sound like it'd be a fit? And Mr. Seller, I think I actually have a little room to put a little interest on there. You know, I mean, I know they're giving this, and I usually don't, I usually don't offer any interest, but you see how sexy that could be?
Yeah.
If you've done your numbers, maybe you put it in the Any Deal app and you see that even with 3% interest, you're still going to cash flow $400. Give them the freaking interest. Why not?
3%. Let them have it. You give that to the
turn
bank.
around and sell it on 10%.
Exactly. It's just numbers. It's made up anyway. Somebody made it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, good answer there. Let's see. Thanks, y'all. Let's see here.
Absolutely. With an info applicant to Louisiana, yes. I got students doing this everywhere.
Which one
everywhere.
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You can owner finance in any state. All right. Wraparound mortgages. Last time I checked, they were legal in every state. And as far as subject to, it's legal in every state. It's actually on the HUD.
It's on the hood. So somebody like,
it's on the government document. You know, when you see a closing statement, look at 503. That's existing loans taken subject to. The only difference with this is who's the lender. You know what I mean? Every lender works a little bit differently, but at the end of the day, lenders care about two things. They want their money, and they want to make sure that asset is protected. So make sure you pay them their money every single month and don't screw up the insurance. Get the insurance right.
That makes sense. Thank you, Sunshine, for putting that on there. Houston, Texas, March 13th. The Double Tree on Airport Road. Fly in and just walk across the street. All right, let's see.
Guys, I will not fail you. You leave there, I promise you're going to feel like you got a PhD. I guarantee you, I don't care if you've done 100 deals, you're going to leave with some stuff you never heard.
Bring it out, hit us. So Ken wants to know, for heirs of a home, one sibling's in jail, how do you gain the ownership?
Affidavits. I mean, so I had a deal like that before, and we actually had to, I don't know, what's the people that pray for him or whatever? The chaplain? We had to contact the chaplain, their chaplain. But as far as this, they should be able to, you should be able to write them or whatever, and all they got to do is they sign like anything else. So they should be able to sign off. You just got to get in contact. You got to get through them jail bars.
That's right. You gotta grease some palms.
Yeah, you got to get your message and your documents through them bars. You know.
Gotta send it in a letter. Send them some commissary. Give them some toilet paper. No. So the truth, aka Max, says such a high level of financial literacy coming from our community. Double salute. Thank you. Appreciate that. Is there going to be a link to watch this event if we can't make the live event down in Houston?
Yeah, we're not going to do that. I thought about it, but I would have to come up with a contract and reimburse the attorneys. I mean, because that stuff is going to be circulated. These attorneys, it's hard to get attorneys to sit in front of you and just talk to you. Like they cost, right? So if we was to stream it live, people would be,
one more.
Yeah, they'd be sharing that information. So, I don't want to get myself in trouble with those attorneys. I'm not sure if we could set that up like that.
Makes sense. Chris, what's your website? WokeRealEstate.com. It's in the description of all of these streams here. I hope so, if I did it right. WokeRealEstate.com for everything you need. How do you keep up with all of the payments on the subject to the lender when you have a lot? Do you use a third-party processing company? Alliance World wants to know, Brian.
Absolutely, it's a great question. So sometimes if our buyer is willing to pick up the tab, because if we sell it on a wrap or something like that to set up the escrow or whatever, if the buyer is willing to pay that expense to set it up, we'll do it. If not, we'll go ahead and we handle those payments ourselves. Like Chris said, we'll take the payments into our operating account, and whatever we owe the lender for that loan, we'll send it off, and we'll just keep the profit.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
What's the name of that company? Mills Escrow Service. I don't know if they do it nationwide, but just Google third-party escrow service. Is what's another one?
Escrow Serve. Escrow Serve.
Escrow Serve. Yeah, I know. Ron LeGrand pitches the Escrow Serve too.
Yeah, escrow serve. I don't have enough properties. I only got 10, so that's
enough.
A year and a half in the game and only got 10 houses. I'm moving too slow. All right, let's see here. Do you do any subject to on a full rehab? If so, would you pitch it to on a full rehab? Would you do a subject to on a full rehab?
It depends if the numbers make sense. So if it's a full rehab and it's not habitable, like I said, I would want it habitable because I'm leveraging someone else's money to make that note and be profit in the middle. But if it's a subject to and it's a full rehab, that means that every single month it's going to be coming out of my pocket, right? Usually that's not the position we want to be in. But yes, if it makes sense, because it's the same thing as us going and getting a hard money loan on a property is not habitable. You know, I'm pretty sure that the existing loan is going to be more favorable than hard money. So if we can take it over subject to, and there is enough equity to put money into it, flip it, right? Get the seller's note paid off and whatever we promised them and still profit. Sure, why not? Why not take a subject to on a property that needs a full rehab? But the numbers have to make sense. It has to have enough equity that it makes sense.
That's true. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Let's see here. So we're going to be wrapping up here in the next few minutes. If y'all have any other final questions before we wrap this thing up, that would be great. And so don't forget that
you give them money down. I would not. Don't offer money down if somebody doesn't ask for it. You don't want to negotiate against yourself, you know?
We usually buy with nothing down, okay?
Yeah. Go in with nothing down, 0 interest, and adjust if needed.
And they say, no, I got to get something down. Well, what's the lowest you'll take as a down payment? Oh, I need at least this much or I ain't budging. You got to get your negotiation hat on in at that point. But you never go into a deal offering too much. That's a big mistake people do when they make these offers. That's why it's so important, like I say, to ask questions. What do you think you're going to do with this thing here? Or what are you going to do? How much do you really need? I mean, what's the lowest you'll really take? Is that the best you can do? You know, all of these questions are for a reason to see what are they thinking. If they think, man, I just want to get rid of this house and I don't even care, sign it over. Hell, I'll take it if it makes sense.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're going to come across those sellers that say, you know, I don't care. I'm just thinking about letting the bank take it. I don't care about this house.
Yeah, and many of them will do that because I asked them, so what do
you know what? I don't even care anymore. You know, they could take it.
They can have this damn house.
What? Wait, Mr. Seller. I'll take it. I know you don't care about a foreclosure because some people don't care about none of that. You know,
especially if they really be like, I'm about to die anyway.
My credit's jacked up anyway. Oh, they can take the damn thing. You're like, whoa, wait up, wait up. I know you don't care, but you know, how about you just deed that over right here?
Yeah, I got 2 houses like that. It's a dead person on the loan. They don't care. The person dead. That's crazy.
My last primary residence was like that.
A dead man on the loan, huh?
Dead man on the loan is one of the best W-2s ever.
They'll never come back and give you no problem ever. Ken Lewis wants to know from Facebook, what's the best way to find vacant property? What I would say is go to wokesource.com and pull your own list right from there. You can pull many leads as you like, you know, right off of there, right off vacant list. It only knows if it's vacant if you know, they haven't got mail in the last 21 days. Another way is driving for dollars. Go and actually drive. I was just driving today and found like 6 houses. I wasn't even looking, but I said, damn, it's a whole tree fell on a car in the backyard. Evidently that house is vacant. Ain't nobody here. You know, that was a big red flag to me. I was like, why a whole tree fell on this truck behind the house and nobody done nothing? So evidently nobody living in the house. And I looked it up on the little app and woo y'all, vacant absentee owner. Do you have any other ways they can find it, Brian?
Vacant houses?
Yeah.
I mean, absentee, absentee owners, if you really want to get, who all sees this? Where does this go? How much gem should I drop on them? Exactly. If you go and pull a water list, the no water list, that's heavy. All right. If you could pull that from your city, no water list, find the properties that haven't had water in the past 6 months. I mean, people could live without lights, but you can't do much without water. So that's another way to find.
This thing washing they behind.
Yeah.
All right. They want to know
nothing.
So how do you feel about this one here, Brian? Do you make the offer or do you always ask the seller what they want for their house?
I'm gonna gauge them first. I'm gonna ask them what they want first.
Yeah, that's my position too, because you don't want to offer too much. Why would you over offer them more than what they want?
Yeah, you can screw yourself like that. So, but of course, you might come across one of those sellers is, oh, right, you tell me, and you got little tricks to get them to spit out a number. But at the end of the day, if it's that much of a tug of war, like, shoot them an offer. Like, shit, you asked for it.
Right, right. I will quit my job says, thanks for the info. Been watching your journey. That video with Jim Rohn in the background was killer. Inspired me to quit mine this year and been in making for 2 years to keep pushing. Good job. That's what I'm talking about. I will quit my job.
Man, that's a blessing. It takes a lot of courage to do it. I recommend if someone knows that they have the means or they feel like they're already seeing success and that's something that they really deeply want to do, I say make the jump. What's going to happen? You're not going to, fast forward 30 years and be like, you know what? I wish I would have held on to my job. You're probably gonna think 30 years. You're like, you know what? I wish I would have took a chance.
I should have been left this thing. What was I sticking around so long for? Makes sense. Makes sense. And so let's see here.
I'm not telling you to quit your job if you ain't got no money coming in and screw your life up. All I'm saying is that if you've seen success in something, you know what you're doing, but it might not be coming in fast enough. Continue to straddle the fence, but when you know what you're doing, man, bet on yourself. Bet on yourself.
Yeah, you got to be a hustler because I ain't had a job since 2011, so I'm unemployable at this point. So let's see here. We got let's see. Where do you get that water list at, Brian? Everybody want to know that.
Water department. Whoever the water department is in your area.
Water department. Cool.
Whoever serves your water.
Whoever controls it. Cool. So we're about to wrap this thing up in the next couple minutes here. Brian, can you drop some nuggets on them? Something that they need to take home with them, something they need to remember to keep themselves locked in for 2020. We got these, New Year's resolution. I'm going to do good this year. Give them something to inspire them to say, you know what? We're going to do something big this year.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, where all your audience stands. I don't know if your audience is mostly wholesalers. Is it full-time investors? Is it people that have full-time jobs and they're, aspiring to invest on the side? I'll say that creative finance has really been a game changer. It really changed my life. Reason being because, I always thought that you had to make millions of dollars a year for freedom when that's not the truth. Really, when your passive income meets your expenses, you have achieved what most people don't achieve working into their 60 years old. So as you kind of start to talk to sellers and make offers, your wholesale offers or wholesale offers, also look at these properties to see, is there a way that you can structure this? Is there a way you can pay the seller more money and cash flow? Because at the end of the day, we live on a monthly basis. Our rent comes in, our mortgage comes in on a monthly basis, our car note, our cell phone bill, our insurance, everything is on a monthly basis. So you can get that passive income on a monthly basis to where you need it to be to reach your expenses and keep going to fit in some of those lifestyle luxuries. Guys, that's going to be more fulfilling even than having a big office with, a lot of people in it, doing wholesale deals if you don't have any freedom. All right. So aim for freedom and cash flow over cash. That's my biggest nugget. Cash flow over cash, because more money doesn't mean more freedom. And some people are stuck in that, they find they get the business system and now they're making $1 million a year, but they're bound to an office and a bunch of employees they have to train, and you could buy nice things, but you wear your nice things back to that office because the office needs you, so I would think about that before you tie yourself a noose or a trap. Just be like, what do I really want? Is it really a certain amount of money I want to be making, or is it a certain amount of freedom I want? And for me, no amount of money could justify me giving away the freedom. So I was like, I want the freedom more importantly, and I'll figure the rest out.
That's right. They say freedom ain't free.
Freedom ain't free.
That's right.
So, you gotta pay I don't know. Does that make any sense? What I was just saying?
Yeah, it makes total sense because that cash flow is everything. People say I'm gonna save this money and hold on to this money. Money is a currency. It don't even have a value. since they took it off the gold standard back in 1972. So you want to have cash flow where money just coming into you, regardless if you get up and go to work, regardless you get out of bed, regardless you leave your house. You want to have money coming to you, just attracting it, not going out working and struggling and fighting for it. That's, the rich don't work for money. Really that simple. All right, Brian, I appreciate you coming on here tonight. Let's see here.
No problem, man. Like your crowd, you got some people that's active in here. I love it. When will ticket prices be announced? This week. And I appreciate you guys' engagement and love. Appreciate you, Chris, for letting me come and talk.
Anytime, bro.
Continue to be successful. Continue to do your thing, man. I know you really real deal, real out there doing it. And tell your users, man, I set them up. So if they go over to the anydealapp.com, play around with it. And also shoot me a message. If they download the anydealapp.com right now, first of all, they're going to get a 7-day trial. And for your people, tell them to send me a message and I'll send them a private recording of, Chris Senegal, investor here in Houston, big developer.
I heard the name.
I did a private training for his students or whatever. So if you guys send me a message and you guys went ahead and download Any Deal and kind of like, oh, how do I use it? I'll send you that private training. I'll send it to those people. So tell them to reach out. I'll send it to them. So they'll actually have a private training. It has me screen recording and stuff. Like, look. So you guys, you see this on the bottom of my screen? Let's see.
Down a little bit. Hold on. Let me make it bigger. Let me cheat. Bloop. Oh, okay.
You see that in the home screen?
Yeah, down at the bottom there.
Yeah, so this is something we use every day. And it actually, if you guys go to the training, it has me talking and doing a screen share showing it. So you guys won't be kind of stuck. You guys will know exactly how to use it. So how do I get the 7-day trial? Go to the anydealapp.com. Look, let me do a little screen share, man, so they can see it.
You got to make it real for them. Show them what you're talking about, bro.
Real.
Got to make it like real estate. It's real.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet. It didn't pop up down below.
Let's see. Share. What about now? How about now?
Boom.
Can you see it? All right. So look. All right. So, see, you see, we got equity position. So basically, that's how we be putting in work right here. So anyway, you go here, log in, and then you would just create you an account. Okay. Don't have an account, you would sign up, and I already set you guys up. So if you guys go to create your account, you guys will automatically have a 7-day free trial. And if you shoot me a DM, I'll send you a recording of me explaining how we do what we do. With all the analyzers, the mortgage analyzer, subject to analyzer, wholesale analyzer, all of that.
A lot of analyzers. That thing do everything. Because, trying to calculate these mortgages and trying to figure out.
PITI. Yeah. So that's how you guys get the 7-day trial. So check it out, guys. We got people just using and they closing deals with it. This was really what I do, what I use. And like Chris told you, the beauty of creative finance, giving those sellers those offers. You look like a knight in shining armor when 10 other investors across the country have called and gave that old granny a lowball offer, and you tell the seller you can pay them $20,000, $30,000 more.
And they smile. They're like, man, where you been? So other than that, Brian, how do people reach out to you, your social media, things like that?
House Buying Brian on Instagram. That's where I be at. That's really my major platform. I need to get hip and cool like you guys on this Facebook. I need to take Facebook serious. I also need to do some YouTube videos. I do have a YouTube channel, Brian Iregbu. So y'all check it out. I got about 20 videos on there. But the videos are still relevant. So Brian Iregbu on YouTube. Let me go show you guys so you can see it. 1 second.
Brian Iregbu, yep. You be putting them one video, come on there, and it be powerful. That's the thing. You gotta have some strong stuff that changes lives. People say, man, I can go learn out everything about real estate right here on this dang on YouTube channel. It makes a difference.
For your audience, real quick.
Another nugget.
So you can find me right here. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right, right here on YouTube. here's my YouTube channel, so y'all can check that out.
Go subscribe to Brian Iregbu on YouTube.
Subscribe, and then Instagram, you can find me right here, House Buying Brian.
Boom. Look at that. Technology is our friend. Everything right on your TV. You ain't got to even wonder. People watching this on TV, watching the replay, all of that. Look at that. Look at that nice house.
And that was for one of your members to just ask. This is the house that we currently, well, it's not this one. This is like next door. Ours is a little lighter, but the exact same model, just brighter brick.
Man, that's a new house. That house ain't even 5 years old, is it?
3 years old, and bought it 72.
Damn. Say they was over leveraged from the rip, and you said, I can save you, baby. I'm gonna drop this money down, put a little money in your pocket, and take over that payment. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, Brian. Anything else you want to say before we let you go?
No, that's it, man. I appreciate you. Somebody said, do you still have your REI Academy course available? Man, they asked me to do all kind of plugs, man. How much you charging me to do all these plugs? I mean, I know this costs, man. But real quick, so if you go here to, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Guys, if you go here to brianiregbu.com, you guys can come here and you can from this link. We already did that pop-up. That was pretty good pop. From here, you can go to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got a creative deal arsenal guide. This is like a PDF. It shows you all the different deal structures. It's free that you can put together. Here's the course. You guys, someone just asked about this course. There's a few podcasts you guys might want to check out. This one almost went viral. It's the third most viewed video on Max's channel. So it's pretty powerful.
Third most on the biggest channel in real estate almost. Damn.
Yeah, you might. Let's check it out real quick. So if y'all want to check that out, that might be something, because I do explain subject to and stuff like that. Hey, what's up, guys? Let me see. Let's see.
Say that mug is a third most. I say they're just pulling in all kind of people from that.
So y'all might want to check this one out. This third one right here. It's a pretty heavy video. All right. That we did. But back to the channel, you guys. Prop stream. I think Chris probably has a lot of these things too.
Yeah.
But these two. So any deal, you go right here, and I don't know if you guys pulling a lot of data, but y'all might want to check that out too.
Low data. You can never have too much data, I guess, huh?
That's it, man.
Makes a difference. All right, Brian, I appreciate you coming on tonight, and I wish you nothing but more success. I'll be down to Texas sometime this year, I'm sure. And,
all right, holla at me, man. I appreciate you. Let me get on your platform and telling people what I got to offer, man. And that the triple offer strategy, man. Keep preaching it, because I know you use it too. So keep preaching it
every day. It separates me from the competition. They can't even see the competition.
What competition?
Where you been?
Who?
All right, all right. And that's how we do it, family. Make sure, like I said, this video provides you any type of value. Make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up, share this video out, and tell people about it, because it's always somebody that want to learn this real estate stuff, and it can get deep. You want to get these people around you that know stuff, people like me, people like Brian, that can actually help you in your real estate endeavors, because you don't want to go into this game trying to learn this stuff yourself. You can learn a lot on the YouTube by yourself. Don't get me wrong. My channel itself has over 100 free training videos, the Woke Real Estate playlist on my YouTube channel at Chris Monroe STL. Go check it out. It's right there. Or you can just go to wokerealestate.com, where it actually has the first videos that come up. That is the playlist right on wokerealestate.com. You don't have to remember nothing. Everything is systematized and easy for you. I appreciate all of you all coming in. And like I said, we're going to do that just like that. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Yeah, wokerealestate.com. That's the website. Thank you, Sunshine. Looking for deals or get you some more leads, wokesource.com. And then we got a skip tracing service coming out too in a couple of days. I'll tell you more about that coming up soon. But with all that being said, like I said, thank you all. And great stuff, Chris. Let's see here. Great stuff. And Brian, salute. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all. So like I said, give it a thumbs up, give it a share if you care. And if you haven't already, get my free JV agreement by texting the promo code or the keyword JV. If you want the free JV agreement, if you want to do a deal where you're working with other real estate investors, maybe a real estate agent, another wholesaler, something like that, this JV agreement right here has it to where you can put multiple people in on the deal. Everybody can get paid and everything's broken down in plain English. Text the word JV to 31996. If you want to get that, just text JV to 31996. You can get that free JV agreement. That's something I like to give back to the people and help you out there. So, like I said, with all that being said, thanks, everybody. Let's see what else. Thanks. Thank you. Salute. Yep. Streaming on all these sites. Appreciate you all. Yep. All right. I think that's going to do it. I don't see anything else on here too pressing. And that's going to do it, y'all. So, like I said, we'll catch you maybe next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Well, it won't be the same. Probably Monday night, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Monday Night Raw, radio style, right here on the Chris Monroe Show, talking about that real estate. And if you haven't joined Woke Real Estate Investors on Facebook, we got a lot of stuff for you, giving value back to the community. So, do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me. Peace out.
And we have. And we have. And we have. Mr. I stay woke.